Archie, and today we are going to watch how Iran's leader was killed. So everybody in the world knows that the Iran's leader is killed right now, and everybody's making assumptions. Then how was he killed? Were there any suspicious things going on, or were there was an agent behind them, or was a Israel agent behind them? There are a lot of assumptions going on. We actually don't know how he was killed. So I guess in this video we'll know more about it. So let's get into this video.
It's roughly 6 a.m. in Israel.
6 a.m.
A series of fighter jets takes off, armed with long-range high-precision missiles.
Oh.
According to CIA and Israeli intelligence, a significant portion of Iran's leadership has gathered here,
Okay.
in a
at the
compound
same
in
place.
Tehran.
Yeah.
Among them, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the country's supreme leader. 2 hours and 5 minutes after the jets took off, Israeli missiles strike the compound.
Oh. Ow. Straight away at the place where he was.
This is how the Israeli and US
God.
attacks on Iran unfolded, how the country's leader was killed, and what has happened since.
شهد شعیب گوارای شهادت را میشیدم
crying?
و به ملکوت اعلی
This is an
پیوستم.
Iranian news channel, right?
Yeah, I saw his clip going.
By the
viral.
time this video is published, new details might have emerged. The US, Israel, and Iran have a long history of tensions. Until 1979, Iran was an authoritarian monarchy ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi.
Yeah,
He was
I know
supported
him.
by the US. When his regime was overthrown in the Iranian Revolution, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini took control of the country and founded the Islamic Republic.
Yeah.
He was determined to transform Iran into a country ruled by Islamic law.
Yeah, the Sharia
Khomeini
law.
abandoned the former Shah's pro-Western stance. The US and its close ally Israel were declared sworn enemies. Especially the opposition of Israel became a strategic and ideological goal. Ruhollah Khomeini died in 1989 and was succeeded by Ali Khamenei, a cleric who quickly rose through the ranks and had become a key figure in the religious leadership of the country. Over time, Iran, Israel, and the US repeatedly engaged in conflicts. Sanctions were imposed onto Iran. Iran became a key financier of anti-Israeli militias in the region. In 2002, it was uncovered that Iran was enriching uranium at 2 secret locations. The enriched uranium could be used for
Secret
nuclear
uranium.
reactors or nuclear weapons, a
weapons,
fear
yeah.
the US and its allies had had for a while already. Iran has repeatedly denied its alleged pursuit of nukes. The US and Israel ran many attempts to stop the nuclear program. Through cyber attacks, the assassination of key scientists, and especially in the
stopping
US's
it.
case
Yes.
through diplomacy. In 2015, the Obama administration and the Iranian regime agreed to a nuclear deal.
This is a good day because once again we're seeing what's possible with strong American
Yeah,
diplomacy.
back 2016.
Under the nuclear deal that we, our allies and partners, reached with Iran last year, Iran will not get its hands on a nuclear bomb.
Oh.
However, in
okay.
2018,
Okay, this
President
happened.
Trump pulled out of the deal.
The fact is, this was a horrible one-sided deal that should have never, ever been made.
Ever since, relations have tensed up. In 2025, in the midst of new negotiations, Israel and the US launched a series of airstrikes on Iran using bunker buster bombs. 3 Iranian nuclear sites were heavily damaged. In the same year, Iran plummeted further into an economic
Instability.
crisis. The currency crashed, food prices soared, people grew frustrated. By the end of 2025, mass demonstrations erupted across the country. Peaceful protesters and rioters called for the end of the Islamic Republic. Trump called for an uprising of the Iranian people against the
Keep
government,
protesting,
saying
yeah,
help
for your
is on its way.
Islam.
But the
With them.
regime brutally
Okay,
cracked down on the
government
protests.
support.
It shut down the internet across the country. For days, little to no news made it out. In the end, thousands
Blackout.
of people were killed. 50,000 reportedly got arrested. The US began to build up troops in the region, with Trump repeatedly threatening Iran. On Thursday, February 26, there was a last-ditch diplomatic effort between the two countries in Geneva. To
Switzerland.
no avail.
Okay, this happened.
Saturday, February 28, around 9:40 a.m. in Tehran, Iran's capital. This government compound is not far from Hua Square. It reportedly houses offices of the Iranian presidency, Iran's National Security Council, and the supreme leader.
Office of the
Since
Supreme Leader.
2025, the US has apparently gained specific insights how Ayatollah Khamenei and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps communicate and move while under pressure. Reportedly, the CIA has tracked Khamenei for months. They've mapped his whereabouts and studied his patterns. They're confident
Okay,
he's
this
here
was
today,
going on from
and they
months.
learned of a meeting of top Iranian officials on site. The US and Israel originally intended to strike at night under the cover of darkness,
Oh.
but they reportedly moved their time of attack.
Yeah, it happened
This
in the morning.
opportunity was too good to miss. Suddenly, Israeli missiles hit their buildings.
Boom.
During
Yes.
impact, several national security officials are in one of them. Supreme Leader Khamenei reportedly in another. Afterwards, satellite imagery shows heavy damage to the buildings. Black smoke
The
is
smoke
rising.
was coming out.
Geo-confirmed footage recorded here also shows massive amounts of smoke in the area of the compound. A picture taken here, too. Ali Hosseini Khamenei died in the attack.
Ali
Also
Khamenei.
killed Suyid Abdorrahim Mousavi,
Ah.
Chief of Staff of Iran's armed forces.
Many major
Ali
officials were killed.
Shamkhani, head of the National Defense
He was
Council.
also killed.
Muhammad Pakpur, Commander-in-Chief of the
Whoa, all the
IRGC.
important leaders.
Aziz Nazerzadeh, Defense Minister. According to
Go on,
Israeli
airplane.
news, a total of 30 senior Iranian officials were killed in just
Oh
half
my
a minute
God.
in the opening strike. The operation was dubbed Roaring Lion in Israel and Epic Fury in the US.
Roaring
It
lion.
has been planned for months. Masoud Pezeshkian, president of Iran, however, survived. Ali Larijani, secretary of the Supreme
Ali
National
Larijani.
Security Council, vowed Iran would fight back and assured continuity of governance.
Oh.
The strike on the government compound was just one part of the operation. Afterwards, Israel reportedly take out Iran's air defenses, especially around Tehran.
Oh my.
In the third wave, Israel deploys roughly 200 fighter jets, bringing much of its air force into Iran. The goal is reportedly to destroy as many Iranian missiles as possible, as fast as possible.
Oh.
The US reportedly joins in about 30 minutes after the attack on Iran's leadership. According to the New York Times, their attacks focus primarily on targets in eastern Iran, far away from
Okay.
Israel. They also attacked the
It was
Iranian
well
fleet.
planned.
Reportedly, US warships
Wow.
fired Tomahawk
What a
cruise
mission.
missiles at Iranian targets. American ground forces use artillery rocket systems. Several military and command centers in Tehran are hit by Israeli airstrikes. Further explosions are reported in Iranian cities across the country. Trump releases a video officially announcing the military operation and urges the Iranian people to take over their government.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Oh.
Netanyahu later
Openly.
does the same.
נבטיח
Netanyahu.
את נצח
Will
ישראל.
be goes to be.
Shortly after their announcement, an airstrike hits the Sarayet Tayyibi Elementary Girls School in Mina, Hormozgan
Oh my
province.
God. This was
This was
heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. Yeah, we saw it. We
They
saw
should
it.
not have done this thing.
Iranian state media and
Why the
officials claim that
girls?
at least 175 people got killed, most of them likely children. These numbers have not yet been confirmed independently. According to the New York Times, the school is adjacent to an Iranian naval base. US Central Command announced an investigation into the strike. Iran launches Operation True
What
Promise
was
4
they
and
for?
the retaliatory strikes
Promise
begin.
4. Oh my God.
Countless missiles are fired
Yeah,
at
this was
dozens
at
of
So
sites
Dubai.
across the
scary,
Middle East.
yeah. Think
More
about
than
people.
200 missiles are launched at Israel
They
alone.
must be
In
terrified.
solidarity with Iran, the Houthis in Yemen announced that they will resume attacking shipping lanes in the Red Sea. This effectively ends a 3.5-month pause following the
We are sitting
2025
here
Gaza
and Middle East
ceasefire.
is shaken.
The US-led
Yeah.
coalition reportedly intercepts several drones and missiles heading towards Erbil in the Kurdistan
Iraq.
region of Iraq with no casualties. Multiple news outlets later report explosions near Erbil International Airport where US soldiers are stationed. That afternoon, Dubai International Airport is hit with an Iranian drone,
Oh
striking
my
Terminal 3
God.
and effectively closing UAE airspace.
Iranian drones are targeting Dubai.
Several
UAE.
luxury hotels like the
This was
Burj
like
Al Arab and Fairmont
unexpected
the Palm
for
are
like
set on
Dubai.
fire.
Oh my
It's
God.
unclear whether this was the
Fairmont
result of a
It's a
direct
great
attack
thing.
or if the fires were caused by debris from intercepted missiles. But the UAE isn't the only country targeted by Iran.
Yeah, the
In Bahrain,
Jordan,
missile and
Syria.
drone attacks hit the US Navy 5th Fleet headquarters.
Jordan.
Footage shows what appears to be an Iranian Shahed drone striking a tower block
They'll
roughly 20
retaliate.
minutes from the
Definitely they
facility.
will.
Yeah.
In Qatar, the
That's
Ministry of
clearly stated.
Interior reports 66 ballistic missiles were fired at the country. The debris reportedly injured at least 8 people. In Saudi Arabia, the Prince Sultan Air Base is targeted by ballistic missiles, which are reportedly
Oh.
successfully intercepted. In Jordan, the military reports that it has intercepted and downed 49 drones and ballistic missiles, likely headed for the major US military bases
So those who
across
are
the
not in
country.
support of
In
Iran,
Kuwait, Iranian
Iran has
drones struck
striked
two
on that.
passenger terminals of the Kuwait International Airport.
Iran is the first one
In
to
Syria,
strike on
debris from an
UK,
Iranian
US,
missile kills at least 4 civilians while injuring several others. Both Qatar and Saudi Arabia announced that they reserve the right to respond. The Arab League condemns Iran's attacks. Following the blanket strikes by Iran, NATO senior command said its missile defense systems in Europe and its early warning radar in Turkey are on alert. Some experts warn that Iran may activate sleeper cells in Europe and North America.
Oh! Sleeper
There are
cells in
many
North
more
America.
events and details we can't cover in this video, as the texts continue back and forth. So let's zoom out a bit. The US's involvement in the attacks is controversial. On Truth Social, Trump said this.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
It's an argument for a war of necessity. An attack was looming across the sea, so the US had to strike preemptively. But it's unclear how Iran's activities directly endangered the United States. Iran was apparently years away from obtaining a nuclear weapon, according to the US's own intelligence. The country's ballistic missile arsenal is estimated to reach no more than 3,000 kilometers, a threat to neighboring countries, but not to the US. Iran might have been attacked because it was in a uniquely weak position, as a type of preventive measure. This might make this a war of choice, not one of necessity.
These preventive wars are often condemned internationally, not only because they're optional, because if every nation went out to strike adversaries who they thought were temporarily weak, we would live in a world of constant war.
According to international law, a war of choice would be illegal. There are also discussions whether the attack was in violation of the US Constitution. Trump started the war without congressional approval. Across the US and parts of the world, protests erupted,
people are
partly against the
protesting that.
Iranian regime, partly against American involvement in the war. Oil prices have risen sharply.
Yeah, we knew
Experts warn of
this.
an impending global energy crisis because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. In Iran,
Strait of
people
Hormuz.
celebrate the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. Others are grieving. At this point, it remains unclear who will succeed him. For now, the regime formed a provisional government. It seems set on revenge and continues to strike Israeli and US bases. The exact number of deaths is hard to determine at this point. According to the US military, so far 3 American soldiers have been killed, with 5 seriously injured. According to Al Jazeera, 10 people have been killed in Israel, 3 in the UAE, 1 in Bahrain, 1 in Kuwait, 13 in Lebanon, and 2 in Iraq. The Iranian Red Crescent has
Destruction is
reported that
caused
since the attacks,
everywhere.
at least 555 people have been killed,
Oh
with
my
hundreds
God.
injured. According to the Times of Israel, these numbers do not differentiate between military and civilians. The situation is likely to escalate further in the upcoming days. Timely reporting like this is incredibly resource intensive.
I just want to ask one question, that why civilians has to suffer all the time? Because war is something that the two leaders are fighting with each other, like they are sitting in that safe space and like civilians are suffering. And also I want to talk about that elementary school, like that is very heartbreaking because the little girls, the childs were there and they bombard that, and this is something very shocking that Muslim countries are fighting with each other.
Exactly, what is happening around the world, we are at awestruck because this is a very serious topic, and till now we were in a confusion that how was he killed, and now we finally after this video got to know that how was the supreme leader killed, and with him there were many more officials which were killed. And also I want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz, and I think because of it the oil and the fuel prices will obviously rise, and I don't know what further is going to happen in this world. So let me know what do you guys think about this video in our comment section below. So do like, share and subscribe. Bye.